Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, July 3rd, 2025, we're jumping right into the biggest global stories from the last 12 hours or so.
That's right.
We've sifted through the news reports, the articles, really trying to pull out the key insights for you. A shortcut to understanding what's happening.
And it's always fascinating how these different events, markets, politics, international stuff, they don't happen in a vacuum. They're all connected.
Absolutely, they weave together. So let's maybe start with the economy. The market's looking pretty buoyant.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing global markets climb.
Mhm.
In the U.S., you've got the S&P 500, that's the big broad one, and the NASDAQ, heavy on tech, both hitting new highs.
New highs, wow. What's behind that? Is it just general optimism or something specific?
Well, it's a mix, I think. You had Tesla, for instance, jump, 5%? Their delivery numbers were stronger than expected.
Okay, so positive company news helps?
For sure. And Nike, too, they're making some strategic shifts that investors seem to like for the long run. And then over in Europe, the SDXX 600 is up as well. Seems like there's some optimism about trade maybe easing up a bit.
Right. Trade optimism, that always helps sentiment. Now, how does the political side feed into this? I saw the UK pound and bonds recovered.
Uh-huh. That was interesting. Prime Minister Starmer came out and backed Chancellor Reeves's fiscal plans pretty strongly.
Ah, so signaling stability.
Exactly. Markets hate uncertainty, so that reassurance, it really seemed to calm things down there. Meanwhile, stateside, that mega bill debate is, still raging.
Yeah, that sounds complicated. Tax cuts, work requirements, the debt ceiling, all bundled together.
Pretty much. And it's, apparently causing some real headaches and divisions within the GOP. The outcome there could definitely sway things economically.
Okay, so market highs, but some political, let's say, friction domestically. What about the international scene? Because there are some serious hotspots.
Oh, absolutely. The Gaza ceasefire situation remains incredibly difficult, halted, and Israeli strikes continuing. It's just a profound humanitarian crisis and a major geopolitical worry.
Yeah, that casts a long shadow.
It does. And then you have Iran suspending cooperation with the IAEA, the UN's nuclear watchdog. That's making markets nervous, especially oil prices, and raises, regional security flags.
And China. There was news about the Dalai Lama's succession.
Yes, that's significant. Beijing essentially declared it will control the process. It's part of a long-term strategy, really, to assert control over Tibet's religious and political future. Big implications for human rights and stability there.
Wow, okay. So those are some heavy geopolitical points. Any signs of diplomatic movement elsewhere?
Well, you've got Indian Prime Minister Modi on a five-nation tour in Africa. The focus seems to be boosting trade links and strengthening that BRICS cooperation.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Exactly. It's about building ties with emerging economies, kind of a strategic move in this, shifting global power dynamic.
And wasn't there something about Sri Lanka?
Ah, yes. The IMF approved $350 million for Sri Lanka. That's a pretty important signal. Shows some cautious international confidence that their recovery efforts might be starting to work, even though they still face huge challenges.
So if you take a step back from all these pieces, the market highs, the political debates like the mega bill, these really tough international spots like Gaza and Iran, plus the diplomatic moves, what's the big picture look like to you?
It's really a picture of tension, I think. You've got this economic optimism, maybe driven by tech, by some companies doing well, hopes for trade.
Right.
But underneath, or maybe alongside, it's still a very fragile world. Geopolitical events can instantly send shockwaves. Think Gaza, think Iran and oil prices. And the internal politics, like that U.S. megabill, they're not separate. They directly feed into that global economic mood and stability.
It's incredibly interconnected. And just like that, we've covered a lot in the last 12 hours.
Yes, certainly have.
It moves fast, doesn't it? From record markets to really complex international issues and domestic debates. Hopefully, even this quick dive gives you some of those aha moments, some useful insights.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with as you process all this. If you connect the dots, what do you think are the really fundamental forces driving all these shifts we're seeing? The economy, the politics, the crises, how do they all interact to shape where our world is actually heading? Something to chew on.